I'm president of Young Israel Century City. And I'll be your host for most of this evening. Our perennial master of ceremonies, Dr. Mark Goldenberg, will be joining us in progress later in the evening to assume his rightful position. I'm very confident we've put together a unique and entertaining evening for you this evening. In addition to the presentations that we'll be making to the honorees, we'll be conducting a Chinese auction, more about that a little bit later. We'll have a special video tribute and provide world-class comedy from Mark Schiff, one of today's top young comedians. Incidentally, for those of you who may not be aware, Mark Schiff will be the honoree at the upcoming YICC tribute dinner. And I'm pleased to announce tonight that as a gesture of goodwill and a demonstration of cooperation with our rival synagogue, in exchange for Mark's appearance here this evening, we're arranging for Harriet to serve as the entertainment at the YICC dinner. When I was asked to be MC this evening, I was instructed to do three things: be funny, be clever, and be brief. While I spent hours agonizing over exactly what I should say, I dismissed several possibilities and then thought, what about making up one of those top 10 lists that seem to be so popular these days? But then I thought to myself, no, that's been done. Everybody and his brother has done a top 10 list. But a top 7 list? Now that's clever, and it's shorter. So here goes my list of the top 7 things about being president of Young Israel Century City. Number 7, I love being referred to as president of LA's most appealing show. Every time you turn around, there's another appeal. Number 6, required attendance at board meetings, committee meetings, and all 260 show programs solves that annoying problem of spending too much time with my family. Number 5, I never get tired of hearing the show's president's name is Drew Parker. Is he even Jewish? Number 4, if I play my cards right, I can use this position as a stepping stone to Young Israel of North Beverly Hills. Number 3, I finally get a decent table at the show dinner. Number 2, it affords me the rewarding and fulfilling opportunity to work with some of the most dynamic and talented leaders of the community. Is that pretty much the way you wrote it, Rabbi Muskin? And the number 1 top thing about being president of Young Israel Century City is I have an inside look at the underbelly of the synagogue world that I am using for the screenplay I'm working on called Pulpit Fiction. The truth of the matter is that it is with great pride and a terrific sense of responsibility that I view my role as president of Young Israel. One can't help but derive immense satisfaction from being associated with an institution which has deservedly earned its reputation as one of the most dynamic and vital synagogues on the West Coast, if not the country. Allow me a moment to boast about a few of the things which have established us as a leading shul and one to be emulated by others. Firstly, there is our unparalleled commitment to adult education. In addition to the daily Daf Yomi and Mishnah classes, we conduct weekly Talmud classes, Parshat HaShavua for women, Sefer HaChinuch, Jewish history, Chumash and Rashi classes, as well as Pirkei Avos and Jewish business ethics during the spring and summer. This is supplemented by our numerous lecture series, frequent workshops, halachic forums, scholars in residence, Yom Limud L'Nashim programs, and community symposiums. Equally as important is our extensive Chesed Society, serving our members and the larger community for our leading role in activities such as the Tomchei Shabbos food delivery, Chevra Kadisha, Piker Cholim, the Soba food drive, Young Israel blood bank, to list just a few. Young Israel's commitment to our youth has become increasingly the subject of our greatest focus. We currently have Shabbos morning programs for preschoolers and junior congregation for the older children, as well as a vibrant and fast-growing NCSY program for our high school kids. When coupled with the charismatic and energetic leadership which Rabbi Muskin so ably provides, it's easy to see why we have been blessed to grow from under 100 families just a few years ago to over 230 families today. This growth, while welcome and necessary, has also had the effect of revealing the one limitation with which we find ourselves faced. I refer to the physical limitations imposed upon us by our current edifice. I consider Young Israel to be a great shul, but one with a distinct edifice complex. Well, as many of you are aware, we are now prepared to embark upon an ambitious course to expand our building to better suit the needs of our growing congregation. To paraphrase a prominent politician, expansion of the shul is a little like going to heaven. We all want to go, but everyone's reluctant to do what it takes to make the trip. Well, I'm confident that should this be the course upon which we ultimately decide, with the dedication and assistance of many of you here tonight, we will make this trip together and transform this vision into a reality. Finally, I would like to collectively thank everyone in the shul who has assumed a role in contributing to our achievements, whether as a member of our board, of our sisterhood, one of our various committees, participating in Shabbos or Yom Tov services, financially or otherwise. Please know how much we value your contribution and how important your involvement is to the continued success of the shul. Again, thank you all for coming this evening. I would like to now call upon Barbara Yaroslavsky, the wife of our county supervisor, Zev Yaroslavsky, to come to the podium. Barbara will be presenting a proclamation from Zev to our honorees this evening. While Barbara's making her way up here, I'd also like to say that in addition to being Zev's wife, Barbara has been politically active in her own right and a longtime friend of the shul and of the Jewish community at large.
It's a real pleasure for me to be here this evening. I apologize that my husband is in the western part of his district, Malibu, so I'm in the western part of my soon-to-be hopeful district, and I'm real pleased to be here. Thank you. I'd like to call Fred. Would you mind coming up? Can you, or I can come to you as well. It's really, after what I've heard what's happened, Real pleased to see you here this evening. Walking around, everyone. Really, mazel tov.
Put your hand next to that way they can't knock it out of the picture. Rabbi Muskie, just go on that side. One more time. One. Great.
I forgot to mention he's the longest serving board member. If I'm not mistaken. The next resolution, if I could just have your attention for about another 2 minutes, I promise not to take too long. The next resolution from the County of Los Angeles is for Leon and Harriet Katz. Leon and Harriet, you want to come up and... this is their 34th wedding anniversary year. And from what I understand, they're extremely active in the synagogue, and I've been active in synagogues myself as well. Served 7 years on my temple board, and it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment, and mazel tov.
Okay, you want 1 second, let me sneak around.
Here's the protective thing. Is that short enough? Okay.
I'm voting for you. I told you that before. There we go. Now, next.
I'd like to thank two of our younger members, two of our newest members, Alan Jacoby and Howard Lefkowitz, who have put together this evening's modified Chinese auction. And I would like to call upon one of those members, Howard Lefkowitz, to come to the podium and give us a brief explanation as to how the auction is going to be working this evening.
I'd just like to correct one misnomer. It's not actually a Chinese auction. There's nothing Chinese about it, and it's not an auction. We're going to have a 10-prize raffle tonight. You can find on your table these green tickets. There should be enough on every table for everybody, along with pens. Each ticket you purchase for $36 will make you eligible for every one of the 10 prizes, which are listed on here, unless, of course, your ticket is drawn as one of the winning tickets. Please just take 2 minutes now to complete these forms. You can pay either by attaching a check or by filling out credit card information. If you don't have either, you can always ask your neighbor to use their credit card number. And in a few minutes, we're going to be coming around to each one of the tables to pick up these cards. If you have any questions, you can ask us about them then.
Excuse me. 8 years ago, our shul's board of directors unanimously voted that at each shul tribute dinner, one member would be selected to receive the Keter Shem Tov Award. This award is presented to a member who volunteers his or her time in a selfless fashion for the benefit of our shul. The awardee is chosen by a small committee in consultation with the rabbi, and the identity of the awardee remains secret until the night of the dinner. Past recipients of this distinguished honor have been Martin Gottesman of blessed memory, 1988, Menachem Goldberg, 1989, Yaakov Glasser, 1990, Wendy Platt, 1991, Richie Seeger, 1992, Daniel Arnall, 1993, Marty Pollack, 1994. Tonight, the 8th recipient of the special award is an individual who has served the Jewish community with great distinction. He is well versed in Tanakh, and he prides himself on his knowledge of Rashi and Chumash. This individual has helped our shul in numerous ways, assisting on any project we run. He has helped solicit ads and raise funds for each shul dinner, and he constantly is interested in the welfare of our Beit Knesset. Before the Yom Tovim, he is there to help set up the sanctuary, and he is one of the friendliest and most hospitable members we have in our shul. Although he received his education in New York, he has lived in Los Angeles for many years, creating one of the best Jewish networks in the city. He knows rabbis, teachers, educators, movie stars, producers, powerful Ashkenazim, and wealthy Sephardim. He knows where to buy the best suits and ties, and he dresses with extraordinary taste. He never keeps this information to himself. Rather, he loves including his friends on his shopping expeditions. He is Los Angeles Jewry's Maven on barbecuing, and he is a leading collector of fine knickknacks, in particular ivory figurines. His homemade cheesecake is legendary, and it's a treat to be invited to his home for Kiddush. Although he never sings on key, he loves to daven for the Omid, and on Simchas Torah, his dream comes true. Few men have been as outspoken as he at board meetings and have survived to be elected chairman of the board and then Gabbai. This year's honoree is, Drew, the envelope please.
I don't have it.
Let's, Brad Pitt. Just kidding. Please join me in saluting our very special Keter Shem Tov awardee for 5755, our one and only beloved Rabbi Ephraim, Fred Fisher.
It opens up, huh? Thank you. We weren't sure that the guessing sounded familiar when you were getting away. Yes.
Cheesecake everywhere.
The suits. One more time. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more presentation or tribute before we allow you to actually eat. As you know, this past week, the Academy of Arts and Sciences awarded the nominees for this year's Academy Awards. We're fortunate to be able to present to you tonight one of the early favorites for Best Short Subjects. If you'll look at the screen out there.
Now, live in Southern California, this is Channel 4 News.
This is Chris Jackson with an Action 4 News update. We've spent the last 2 weeks trying to track down Harriet and Leon Katz, but we finally caught up with them at the farmers market. Here's what some of those people had to say about them.
Correspondent Vel Holkauer of Channel 4 News caught up with Beverly Hills Police Department spokesperson Bill Sanders.
Last week there was some talk about him stealing some apples from the lady from Fair Hills Farms in Paso Robles. Do you know anything about that?
Well, that's the rumor that I heard about that, and I guess she's fortunately a very nice lady and said that she doesn't have time to come down on a weekday to prosecute him, so he's okay on that. But I hear the fig people are really disturbed by him.
Are you going to press charges against Leon and Harriet Katz, as that police officer said, for stealing the apples?
Oh, definitely not. If they come here every week and buy at least 100 pounds of apples, there's no problem. I won't press charges. But the big guy down there might.
Because they took something from the big guy,
I think they took a lot of dried apples and figs, but I'm not sure. You better check with James Bendit Court down there. He'll let you know about the figs and apples. And Leon Drake is in big trouble.
Why should I talk? I mean, Leon told me. I say a word, I'm dead meat, so. Harriet's going to back his story up, so I don't know. It could have happened, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. You ask them.
Still others had things to say about the Katzes, and we caught up with them, and this is what they had to say.
Do you know Harriet and Leon Katz? Oh, God, yeah, they're one of my best customers. You know, they love buying my wooden mushrooms. You know why?
they make dill frugal soup. They're like Katz dill frugal, you know? They take the wooden soup, the wooden mushroom, they put the soup pot, and all their friends bring all the vegetables over. And they put some water and they cook it for 3 days, take the mushroom out, it lasts again, they can use it again, and they serve the soup. It's a great tasting mushroom. You know? What do you think? Are you ever going to try it?
Leon and Harriet Katz owe all of their health, vitality, and energy to this marvelous green substance I contain right here. The secret substance, wheatgrass juice. For the taste of a lawnmower in your mouth all day long, nothing beats the taste of wheatgrass juice.
Yeah, that's right.
So we turn now to longtime friends Herbie and Sandy Orenshine.
What do you mean long term?
Oh, one of you.
I've known them for about 35 years.
It's only 31 years.
And Sandy, for this, you think we should be honoring these people?
That's right. I think they're wonderful people, and they will do anything in the world for you, and we love them, and we think that they should be honored.
That's beautiful.
And we came out here to see these guys. We're here because they're being honored. Otherwise, why would we go to the Young Israel of Century City Banquet?
That's a question I'm sure lots of people are asking today.
It's Heidi Fleiss. She said to tell Leon that she couldn't make the banquet, but she'll be in the following week to have her taxes done.
Beautiful. All right. You know, over the past few months, there's been a heated battle at the shul, questioning who should be the honorees. There's been a strong faction suggesting O.J. Simpson, other people recommending Richard Nixon. But leading the campaign for Harriet and Leon Katz has been their sister and brother-in-law, Roz and Joel Linderman. How about your close relationship with Leon Katz?
Oh, it's terrific. Every Saturday morning we meet. Since, of course, he's being honored, we go already to shul now. Either quarter to 9. Before it used to be quarter to 10. Quarter to 9, if they're on time, he has to make it good. But, of course, after tonight, he'll be back to the old one. You want to know what we're talking about?
What do you know what we're talking about?
About you! About you! Everything.
All right. We're wrapping up this interview. Do you have any closing wishes you'd like to express to your sister and brother-in-law tonight?
I just want to say we love you very much, and you're deserving of this honor and many more, and we look forward to sharing many, many happy occasions with you in good health.
Hey Jeff, there's a call for your father. It's from Darryl Strawberry. He said he'd like to get an extension for 3 months because he can't come in right now to do his taxes. But after the 3 months, if your father gets him an extension for the 3 months, he'll be able to come in afterwards and do his taxes.
Beautiful, because I know my dad did a great job for him last year. These are repeat customers.
As if that wasn't enough, when we finally caught up to the third group of people, you wouldn't believe what they had to say.
We're now at the Venice Athletic Center in our quest for the true Leon, where he hangs out. Donnell, you know Leon Katz, say a few words about him.
Well, you know, he's out here all the time. You know, I catch him out here on the bench press, lifting about 415 or so. So usually spots me every once in a while.
Here we are with Dion, who's one of the basketball players that Leon plays with. Dion wants to say a few words on behalf of Leon.
Well, I'd like to say Leon and Harriet, very good people. Leon's game is a little shaky. I dunked on him a few times. And he still owes me $5 from that last game. So I wish him well, and I hope he'll do a good job.
Leon comes here every week and buys some of the best incense on the beach. Normally I sell it for $1, but Leon only gets it for $1.50.
I understand that not only are they great cheers, but they're great roller skaters. And I probably shouldn't say this, but he was skating with me 5 minutes ago, and he only failed 3 times.
And how about Harriet? Was she with him?
She was there. She was on a skateboard, and he was pulling her on a rope, and she was screaming, but she's a good sport. And we hope that eventually she's willing to try roller skates too. I know she can do it.
And do you think they're deserving honorees for the Young Israel of Century City?
Absolutely. I know that they looked at all the other potential candidates, and they decided that roller skating was the most important criteria, and that's why they chose them.
Here we are in Chinatown, and we were in this store. This is the Chinese year of the pig, as you can tell.
Okay, Gong Hei Fa Choi to Leon and Harriet.
Best wishes, and this is the year of the pig.
And this is the year of the pig, and we're going to have a celebration here next week. It's on the 18th of February.
Is that the same day as the Young Israel Banquet?
Yes.
Yes, I'm a real friend, and we come here every once in a while to read tacos with us. And just congratulations on the award you're getting. And hoy mucha suerte y felicidades por el certificado que les van a dar. Y
Dino just has a few more words for Leon and Harriet.
Wish you well, Leon. Good luck, and hey, you deserve it.
This is Chris Jackson saying congratulations, Leon and Harriet. It's been a tough job tracking everybody down who knows you, but apparently they're all very glad they did.
They made me compress it to 7.
Thank you, Bill. It was great.
Needless to say, that came from the demented mind of Walter Haupt. And the interesting thing is, that was also Walter playing the black weightlifter of MSP. Walter was terrific. Thank you. I would like to now, thank you for the lights, I would like to now call upon Arnold Schlesinger to make a mosi so that we can begin with the dinner. Everybody, please enjoy your soup. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence this evening of a very special member of our congregation, Brian Siegel, who, thank God, has made a wonderful recovery. I want to call upon Fred and Clarice's daughters, Shani, Maki, and Aviva, to come up to the podium and to present flowers to the mother, Clarice.
Mommy, we love you.
You know what? All right.
It's now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our Rav, Rabbi Muskin, to come up and make a presentation to Fred Schlesinger.
It was 2 in the afternoon. We were seated at our table eating the Shabbos lunch. A knock, a heavy knock, was heard at our door. I was not expecting anybody at that hour, but by the knock I knew the person was very serious about our answering the door. The date was June 12th, 1993. I went immediately to the door, opened up the door, and there was Bob Millman. And Bob said, "Rabbi, I have to see you privately." Our 2 girls were standing next to me. They always run to the door with me. "Rabbi, this is very private. I suggest that we go into your study." We walked into the study, and Bob told me that Fred Schlesinger, at that time that was the only one he knew of, had been hit by a car walking to our first minyan on Shabbos morning. He didn't know any concrete information. He didn't know how Fred was doing. He just said, "Rabbi, we have to get to the hospital immediately. You are needed there." And then he asked a shaila, a halachic question. Because of the problem, can we drive? Can we go in a car? I said, "Bob, no, I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. We can't possibly do anything that will help any patient will have to walk. And Bob joined me with that trek all the way to Cedars-Sinai from my home. On the way to the hospital, the only thing that kept on running through our minds was we hope that we will find everything okay. It wasn't. It wasn't okay. We arrived at the hospital to find out it wasn't only one member, but it was two members. Brian Siegel, who's here with us tonight. The doctors immediately told us, Brian, he was hit, but he'll be okay. And what about Fred? Well, it was touch and go. Real touch and go. And we stood there with Clarice, with Mrs. Schlesinger, and we prayed, hoping that everything would be okay. And then the doctor, one of the doctors came out and wanted to speak to Clarice and to the family. After conversing with the family, I went over to this doctor and I said, Doctor, you don't know who I am? I introduced myself. And I said, Doctor, your team of doctors has to save Fred's life. And with tears in my eyes, I said, you don't know that man on your operating table, and it's been 6 hours that you've been operating. But he is the friendliest, most special person I have ever met. You must save his life. May God give you the ability. That was June 12th, 1993. 19 months later, we're here tonight to thank the Almighty for sparing and giving a recovery to both Brian and to Fred. But I want to share with you a thought. What has these 19 months meant to us as a community? What have we learned from Fred, from Clarice, from the entire family, as we've watched a long recovery, and we pray that, Fred, you'll have a total recovery? What have we learned, or what should we learn from what you experienced? And I want to share with you an insight via an intriguing midrash that is associated with this morning's Kriyat HaTorah, with the Torah reading that we read this morning in the Torah. The Torah tells us at the very end of the Parsha that Moses returned after 120 days. He was up in heaven 3 different times. This time was the last time. It was Yom HaKippur, the holiest day of the year, and Moshe returned with the second tablets. Something physically had happened to Moshe. Physically, there was a change. Karan or Panov. A halo, a radiance, an illumination suddenly appeared on his face. And the Medrash asks, Umehecha notal Moshe karnei hahod? Where did Moshe receive the beams of majesty? From where did they come? And the Medrash answers, Rabbanon Omri, our rabbis teach us, Min ha-me'ora shenemar v'hoya ba'avur kivodi v'samticha b'nikrat hatzur. And the rabbi said, from the cave, when Moses was put into the cave by God, and God appeared to Moses, as it is said in the verse, and it shall come to pass, when my glory passes by, I shall put you in the cleft of the rock. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to ask a question on this midrash. What is the midrash asking? What do you mean, from where did Moses get the glory, the rays of glory? You and I know it was from experiencing revelation. He had to be changed, and he was. So what's the Midrash asking? The Midrash is asking a theological question that sometimes goes unnoticed. You know, when everything is going well in life, when you have good health, you have a good parnasa, where you can bring home enough to put on the table, when everything's perfect, it's not hard to believe in God. You can thank him. But when the luck sours and you go into the cave of life and there isn't a beam of light coming through, do you believe? And the Torah tells us only after Moshe went into the cave. And let me tell you what the Medrash tells us happened in that cave. In that cave, Moshe saw Jewish history unfold. He saw the destructions of the first and second temple. He saw the murders of the Crusades. He saw the Holocaust. He saw the 21 soldiers killed just 2 weeks ago in Israel. That's what he saw in a cave of the night when there was no beam of light. And he came out and he believed. Mehechon, from where, the Medrash asks, did he get the Karnei Hod? He got them only after he experienced the Holocaust of Jewish history, when there is no light. And when, after that experience, he still believed, and he could return to Bnei Yisrael with the second Luchos, suddenly a halo appeared above his head. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're not only here to thank the Almighty with Clarice and with Fred and with Mrs. Schlesinger and the entire family for sparing Fred's life on June 12, 1993. But we're here to salute and to learn what it means to earn Karnei HaHod. Clarice and Fred have earned it. They went through the cave. When all was black, touch and go, maybe he wasn't going to make it. He didn't lose faith, and neither did his wife. You've earned our respect, our admiration. You've earned even more our real love for your faith, your unflinching faith. Fred and Clarice, you've earned your Karnei Hod. You have a halo above your head because you never, ever questioned. Fred, would you please come forward? There's only one way to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Almighty, and that's to lift a kos shel bracha, a cup filled with wine, and to say Kiddush. And now you'll have a new kos, a kos from every one of us, that you'll be able to say Kiddush with every Friday night, every Shabbos, and every Yom Tov. We're very, very, very proud to be your friends. On behalf of the entire community, ladies and gentlemen, we present Fred and Clarice with a kos shel bracha. The inscription says, to Fred Schlesinger, presented by Young Israel of Century City, February 18th, 1995, Adar 1, 5755. Ladies and gentlemen, Fred Schlesinger.
Thank you, Rabbi Muskin. They say some people will do almost anything to be honored. I suppose I'm one of those people. Rabbi Muskin, distinguished rabbis, my dear family, honored guests, dear friends. I would like to express my immense gratitude to all of my relatives and friends who helped us immeasurably in our time of need. Clarice has told me how all of you, with the guidance of Rabbi Muskin and Rachama, took care of my entire family during the months following my accident. I am forever indebted to each and every one of you. We will never forget your incredible acts of chesed, which continue to this day. I have been told that when the surgeon spoke to my family on the day of the accident, they explained that my chances for survival were not too good. As wonderful as they are, the surgeons do not understand the power of tefillah. Your prayers and prayers of Jews throughout the world reach the Almighty, and I am deeply grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for giving me a second chance at life. I truly cherish each moment I have been given as a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I have indeed been blessed. I must take a moment to mention my family. My mother, Mrs. Dora Schlesinger, who came to visit me daily for over a year, bringing with her a hot-cooked meal every single day. You have sustained me physically and spiritually throughout my life. A mother's love truly knows no bounds. my in-laws, Mr. and Mrs. Giffler, who in addition to visiting me regularly, took care of the children for months while Clarice remained in the hospital with me. You were always available to help even before we asked. My brothers, Jack and Arnold, and my sister-in-law, Sherry. No brothers or sister could ever be closer or dearer. I must especially mention my dear Aunt Shori, who many of you have met because she has traveled back and forth from Eretz Yisrael to be with us throughout these difficult times. Your love and warmth has given Clarice and me the strength to continue despite many obstacles. Shani, Malki, and Aviva, you have learned to deal with adversity at such a young age. I am so proud of you. Clarice, how can I possibly find the words to explain how I feel about you? On Shavuos, before we read the Torah, we say a special tefillah called Akdamot. Allow me to quote for a moment. Gevil ilu rakia kane kol charshusa, dayo ila yame v'cholme kneshusa, daira ara safre v'rashme rashvasa. Even if the heavens were parchment and the forest quills, if all the oceans were ink as well as every gathered water, if the earth's inhabitants were scribes. The explanation of these lines is, even were unlimited resources available, it would nevertheless be impossible to describe fully God's greatness. I think of you, Clarice, when I remember these words. Most of you know that I tragically lost my father, Joseph Schlesinger, Zichrono Livracha, 6 months before my accident. One of the few things I remember from the hospital occurred in the intensive care unit. It may or may not have been a dream. In this memory, my father was talking to me, comforting me, telling me not to worry, that I was going to be all right. Perhaps this was part of Hashem's divine plan. Perhaps my father successfully pleaded with the Shekhinah to spare my life. Despite the hurdles that remain before me, I am happy. I am thankful to be alive, and I am thankful that I am part of this wonderful Kehillah. When I look at this gift, I will think of you. It is I who honor you. Because of your support, I am able to stand here and receive this tribute. Thank you.
Fred, thank you very much for those moving words, and I would like to ask everybody to please dance in celebration of Fred's recovery. Thank you.
Everybody up, make it up, Mazel Tov.
Wayne's the comedian in the family, but we're the serious ones, so we won't make any jokes. We want to wish Leon and Harriet Mazel Tov on this great honor for them, and we want to personally express our thanks to Harriet and Leon. Leon's is a great friend to both of us, a funny guy, always there with a kind word for us, and he's a pleasure to know. And that goes double for Harriet. She's always there for us, for our kids. She's like a second mother for our children. She's always there to lend a hand. We couldn't ask for a better aunt than Aunt Harriet. And like I said, it's like a mother, really. And you couldn't ask for anything more. For better people, they're a perfect combination for Miriam and I don't know what we'd do without them.
Auntie and Uncle Leon, I just feel I have to say something too. I think you guys deserve this honor, and we want to just tell you how much we love you and how much our girls love you, and I don't know what else to say other than you're the best, and congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Well, they say you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Fortunately, I got to pick some family because Aunt Harriet's just my Aunt Harriet, and my Uncle Leon's my Uncle Leon, although if you had to trace it by family blood, you wouldn't be able to. So I'm very fortunate about that. It's been wonderful growing up with them. And I'm very happy to be here celebrating. And it's great to have such a good place at the dinner. We got one of the best seats in the house.
Auntie, Uncle Leon, Alan and I are so proud to be here to honor you tonight. And we feel so lucky and blessed to have you as our aunt and uncle. Mazel Tov.
Also from your niece, nephew.
Mom, Dad, well, what can I say? It is with tremendous pride that we participate in tonight's sing. Diane, Dane,
I agree.
Dane and I are very proud of you. So much that you've done throughout our life, and the example you've set in your participation in community events and supporting events, and hopefully we can do you honor in the future by emulating the lives that you've led. Again, tremendous honor and a mazel tov to you, and many, many more simchot. Take care. Children, comments?
No. We ready?
Are we on? Are we live?
Yes. Are we live? Yes. Are we ready? Oh, we're rolling. Auntie and Uncle Lou, I just want to tell you one thing. I hope the next time that we're sitting around a table at a simple like this, it's going to be for a bris or a wedding. Okay, guys? Look at the camera.
I've already had my bris.
I've already had my wedding. Going back again after halftime.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sephardic Temple here in Westwood, California, where we are honoring Harriet and Leon Katz. Tonight's program is brought to you by the brewers of Schaefer Beer.
Say it nice, will you? Come on.
We're very proud of Leon and Harriet. No jokes.
Okay.
Hey, get away from the camera. Wait, and my right over here.
Just Schaefer. Yes. And also, I would like to say for a friend of mine, my Wayne Taubenfeld, that Harriet and Leon have always been the parents that he never had on the West Coast. Seriously, though, from Elaine and I, we're very proud of you guys, and you mean the world to us, and we're really pleased to be here honoring you two tonight.
All of you thought that you were going to a Young Israel banquet. Actually, this is Los Angeles' largest surprise birthday party. Please join me in singing Happy Birthday to our honoree Leon Katz, as he is presented with a cake by his children Jeffrey and Diane. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leon. Happy birthday to you. Since this is a charity function, we don't have any candles, so you can blow off the frosting, Leon. How old are you, Leon?
61.
61. How old was Abe Lincoln?
59.
59. Mazel tov, Leon.
Thank you, thank you.
You should live to 119 and a half. So Harriet can have a little piece of her mind.
Very much. Good evening. How are you, folks? Good. 3 people in the house. Thank you, Mark, my opening act. Pretty funny, Mark Oldenburg, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Baby dentist. That's a racket, isn't it? My kid has no teeth. $300. It's unbelievable. Happy birthday. Very nice. How are you? Good. You haven't had enough food? You need a 40-pound cake now. How about that fish? Does that look real or not? I didn't know fish looked like that in nature. All breaded with little garnish around his head. Actually, what are they? You've been eating it? How's the food? All right? Pretty good? Yeah? Yeah, I actually lost a lot of weight. I'm on that Slim Fast thing. I had 7 of them today, so I feel real good. I'm going to finish the can later. I have starved. Slim Fast is not bad with vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, some sprinkles, and a meatloaf sandwich. Actually. Food is deceptive, isn't it? They don't tell you on the package what it's going to do to you. They should call things what they really are. Like Pepperidge Farm should come out with Pepperidge Farm chocolate chip triple chin. So you know where you're heading with this item. Haagen-Dazs vanilla white thighs. So you know exactly. And put pictures on things. A pint of ice cream, put a picture of someone trying to get their pants on. A box of prunes, put a picture of someone trying to get their pants off. So you know where you're heading with this item. Some people don't know. They wake up in the morning, have 50 prunes, a couple of graham muffins, a hot cup of coffee, get in the car and get stuck in rush hour traffic. Talk about changing lanes, huh? Actually, I feel pretty good. I've been exercising. How many people who seriously around the applause exercise here? Nobody. This is a good crowd. I won't see any of you next year. Actually, I tried. I'm not a fan. I don't wake up in the morning exercise. Yeah, I wake up like I am beat. I gotta lay down for another hour. I tried joining a health club. They don't work. It's like I walk in, I give the guy a check for $500. I go, thank you very much. I will never see you again. I tried lifting weights. They are so heavy, it's unbelievable. The truth is I'm Jewish, and Jews don't lift weights. They say to people, would you help me pick that up, please? My back hurts, I got veins popping out of my legs. A lot of things Jews don't do. There are no Jewish rodeo stars. You never hear things like, Morris Greenberg had to shoot 6. With his mother running behind him going, get off, you're gonna fall. Hi, how are you? My accountant. No Jewish bank robbers. You never hear me. All right, put your hands up, get on the floor. Get up, you get dirty. Oh, feel pretty good. Right, doctors here. Doctors make you sit on that little table with that white deli paper underneath you. I usually bring a little pickle. I sit next to me on the table there. It's an insult making you sit on paper. You don't go to a restaurant, how many? 2? Let me put some paper down underneath you. I feel pretty good. Actually, if you really want to stay healthy, this is true, you got to eat at home. So you go to the old supermarket. One of the great things now, they're open like 24 hours a day. There are people who actually go shopping for you in the morning. They wake up and go, honey, I'll be back in a little while. Yeah, I'm going down to the supermarket. I'm going to get some Drano. I'll be right back. You ever walk to the supermarket 3 in the morning? It's like, can you make it a little brighter in here, please? And turn that freezer off. What is it, 9 below 0? One of the great things, you can break things in the supermarket, just leave it there. Knock over jar of tomato sauce, that's a shame. There's another one. And you ever start up the aisle with that cart and you see somebody coming and you think, if they don't move, I'm going to jackknife this guy. And fruit is the best way to lose weight. You got to squeeze it to see if it's ripe. You ever squeeze a peach and you put your thumb right through it? Oh, I don't want that. And I can never find people that work in these stores. You're up and down the aisle. Hello, hello. I was in the meat department. I saw a guy, white coat, blood all over the thing. I said, excuse me. He goes, I don't work here. Then you go pay. Now they put you on the spot. Now they want to know if you want paper or plastic bags. I don't know. I'll say to the guy, what do you think I should use? What's your honest opinion? People behind you flipping out, they're going to take paper, get out of here. I look at them and go, you don't leave me alone, I'm going to write a check, all right? An out-of-town check will be here a long time. Was that a peach? Then you get home, put the stuff away. I've come to realize too now that there are things that I buy, I wait for them to rot, then I buy them again. They're called vegetables. And at the bottom of the fridge, they have that crisper. What does this make crisp? Have you ever put anything that comes out crisper? They should call that the rotter because that's what's happening. Everything Everything you put in completely right. You put it in, close it, open it. Ah! And people take such care of picking their vegetables. You ever seen in the store? This is the perfect head of lettuce. You will rot very nicely in my house. Every month or two, you go on carrot, celery patrol. See if the stuff is lip enough to throw away yet. Take out a piece of celery? Nope, not yet. I'm not going to eat you, but I'm not going to throw it away either. I'm going to suck every ounce of life out of you. You will never see the light of day again, my friend. Or you walk in the kitchen and you go, what smells in here? Pick up the milk, put it right back. Oh yeah, throw that away in about a week. Or you have food that's questionable, so you let your friends have it. Your friends going, hey, can I have some meatloaf? And you don't ever remember making meatloaf? You never made meatloaf in your life? You're like, yeah, I gotta finish it. There's some vegetables that are crisp, but why don't you make a salad? It's about 3, I'm going shopping. I'll be back in about a half hour. Oh man, a little shopping. Oh, man. Actually, what else when you go shopping? Go to like a really expensive clothes store. You see something you like, just toss it on the floor. Guy comes over and goes, what are you doing? You go, well, I just want to see what it looks like when I get home. In fact, let me kick it in the corner. That's where I keep everything. Salespeople are great, but if you don't want to be bothered by salespeople, make sounds, they'll leave you alone. They come right over, can I help you? Just go, excuse me, sir? Help yourself. It's like riding an elevator. I love to ride in elevators by myself. You want to keep an elevator yourself, make sounds, no one get in. You're in there alone, the door opens, someone's walking towards you. I'll take the next one, all right? Then when the door closes, press open again, stick your head out. I was in Century City, I got in the elevator on like the 23rd floor. Evidently, somebody was in before me, pressed every single button. So I'm going 23, 20, 19th floor, the guy gets in, looks at me like I pressed all the buttons. I looked at him and said, yeah, that's right, I did. I'm going to shut the light now and start yelling in a second. Oh, man. A lot of people here during the quake we had last year? Wasn't that something, huh? I'm from New York. They call that a natural disaster out here. From New York, a natural disaster is when someone stabs you in the head. That's a natural disaster. With a quake, you know, I was all right, but my uncle, a poor guy, lived in a trailer park. Over 100 trailers completely destroyed, over $60 worth of damage. It was horrible, boy. There's 3 little steps in front of his house, couldn't find him. All the pictures of people that would come to visit him was terrible. I am from New York. I used to live with my parents in New York until they moved out to their own place. And, actually, my grandparents lived with us, and you know, grandparents when you're a little kid like to give you money, but they never just hand it. They'd always slip it to you like it's illegal. As soon as everybody leaves the room, my grandfather's like, put this in your pocket, keep your mouth closed. Just shut up, you don't know where you got it. Here's $3 to go to college. $3 is a lot of money when you're a kid. I used to have 50 cents a week allowance. I used to remember asking my father for a raise. I said, Dad, can I have a raise? He said, I'm sorry, we can't afford it. I said, then get another job. 50 cents a week. Grandparents. My grandfather came from the old country. Where is this place? I looked on every map in the world. There was no old country. And they have stories. He told me he moved to the United States when he was 2 by himself. Can't prove it. He said he got a job when he was 3 years old putting in high voltage wires for a living. Was electrocuted but went to work anyway. Actually, something the most fun when I was a kid was when the whole family would go in the car. That was great. Before the car though, my mother would look at me like I'd never heard of a car. She'd go, all right, Mark, we're going in the car. So you want to go to the bathroom, go now. Because once your father starts the car, that's it. We're driving straight to Bulgaria today. And if you're not going to be good, tell me right now, we'll just leave you home. Because I have a splitting headache. Mothers never have headaches, they have splitting headaches. And I used to like to get in the car a few seconds while my folks, I'd turn the radio all the way up. So my father started the engine to blow the wig right over his head. And I sat in the back. The dog could sit in the front. The dog would sit on my mother's lap and hang his head out the window. I'd sit in the back and hit the face with dog slobber at 90 miles an hour. You can do anything you want to your dog and they love you. I used to take my dog's nose, put it in my mouth and try to blow the dog up. And the only time he tried to bite me is when I grabbed his back legs into the wheelbarrow with him. I was like, oh. Actually, the thing that got my folks most nervous, absolutely true, when I was like 15 years old, that's when I started going out of the house at night. Before you go out at night, though, Mother's Day went to be home the minute. She's like, all right, Mark, you can go out, but I'm only home at 10:30, you hear me? Now, what time did I say? That's right, that doesn't mean 10:31. But 10:32. My whole family's going, 10:33. Even the dog is going, woof, 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 woof. And if you know how by 10:30 mothers will wake up. I remember she told me to be home at 10:30. I walked in at 4 o'clock in the morning. But after 1 o'clock, you just say to yourself, the heck with it now. I don't live there anymore. Because she told me, you know how by 10:30, don't bother coming home. And you try to sneak in the house, but at that hour, everything is magnified. Put the key in the door. Open the door. And I walk in, Mother's face has changed. She looked at me like, get in here. Do you know what time it is? It's after 4 o'clock, and where were you? With your friends. People don't have friends at 4 o'clock in the morning. Crazy people have friends at 4 o'clock. But I should go to sleep. I haven't slept since the day you were born. You know, if you're trying to kill me, you're doing a very good job. Now, this is my house. You don't like to leave. Where do you think you're going? You're not going anywhere. If anyone leaves, it's going to be me. I'll pack, I'll get out of here right now because I have had it. With you and your father. And when he gets home, I'll tell him. And in my house, my mother does all the talking. My father just, they were married so long, my father cannot even answer questions anymore. People say, where do you work? Look at my mother. Can I answer this? They've been married so long, my mother actually sucked the brain out of his head. Walks around the house going, just do what your mother says. I can't take this anymore, just do what she says. This is killing me here. I'm actually married now, like, just absolutely true, 5 years we just passed last week. Do we have any newly married people here? Anybody get married recently? Really? Back there? How long have you been married, sir?
3.5 years.
How long?
3.5.
3.5. Yeah, somehow I don't believe you, sir.
5 illegitimate children.
5 illegitimate children. Thank you very much, for... Is this a religious function, ladies and gentlemen? Actually, you know, before you get married, we really wish you the best. You know, nobody tells you what marriage is like. You ever ask people what it's like? They go, you'll see for yourself. Yeah, well, what's it like? You'll see. Are you happy? Well, let's put it like this. It's a different type of happiness. Is there joy? That's not the right word. It's deeper than joy. Somebody asked me what the meaning of shalom bayit was. I said, if your wife sees something she likes, you buy it, you have shalom. You know, you do learn a lot about yourself when you get married. I didn't know that I snored. You know, if you snore, there's a law they have to wake you and tell you. I don't need this information. I'm out cold, rolling around, having a good time. But honey, get up, you're snoring. I'm like, what? You're snoring. Oh, I'm sorry, honey, chop my head off next time. And she's so nervous. As soon as I get inside, she's like, is the door locked? Yeah, honey, I just locked it. Check it again, will you? I just locked it. Will you check it again? And, you know, so I get up, check the door, get back in there. Is it locked? No, I took the door off the hinges. We don't have a door. And I open the window. They'll be here in about 10 minutes. One night she says to me, I think there's someone outside. I said, that's where they belong, is outside. We're in here, they're out there. If they come in here, we'll go out there. You know what she said? Go outside, see what's going on. But be careful, put a sweater on. I got a turtleneck, gives her a perfect shot to chop. She walks me to the door, I go out, she locks the door from the inside. This is frightening. I know she loves me, if a couple of guys grab me, I don't think she's going to open up. The other night, 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up, I go inside, I walk back in the bedroom, 4 in the morning, she says, where were you? I went hunting. I bagged an elk, he's on the couch right now. Where was I? You wake up 4 in the morning, look at the alarm clock, and immediately start doing math to figure out how much time I have left to sleep. And I do better math out of a dead sleep than I do in the afternoon. Afternoon I can figure out nothing. 4 in the morning, 3 hours, 7 minutes. 30 minutes, 7 seconds. I had to get up a couple weeks ago. I had to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I had the clock set for 5. It went off at like 4:56. I felt like I was ripped off for the entire day. So you reset the clock for like 5 after 5. I passed, I spent like 20 minutes fiddling with the clock. And at 5 in the morning, I can't figure out if the dot on top means AM or PM. I have like no dot retention at that hour. 4 days in a row, I keep getting up 3-4 minutes early. And I remember I read an article in Time magazine that said there are actually people who don't need clocks. They can actually visualize when they have to be up and they get up. I decided to try this. I unplugged the clock, went to sleep, woke up at 3:30 in the afternoon the next day. Marriage. Sometimes I go to the middle of the night, go to the fridge, drink a little orange juice out of the container. That's another thing. Walk back in the bedroom, more questions. What were you doing? I had some juice out of the container. No, I used the glass. I didn't hear you wash the glass. What are we going to do? Hang off the bed listening? I don't hear any water. I can't believe he's drinking out of the container. I've actually put a glass in the sink and put juice in it so it looks like I drank out of the glass. I get in the bed and I have my socks on. In the wintertime, I take my socks off, drop them on the side of the bed. She looks at me like I'm demented. What are you doing? I just put my socks there. Are you going to leave them there all night? No, I'm going to set the clock for 2 in the morning and get them to do the wash. Then she actually said, I can't sleep with them on the floor. I said, what do you think? They're going to get up and choke you in the middle of the night? They're socks. Not like friends we're having over the house. Then she says, I'm not your mother. I said, I know that. My mother's very nice to me. My mother would pick those up and make me a sandwich. That's right, I'm in charge. She here? I didn't know I had so many problems till I got married, but thank God she's there to point those things out. Who knew? I'll put on a sport coat. You're not going to wear that, are you? No, I'm going to slide in the car and change the oil in the thing. And you ever hear this? If you get in a fight, they tell you go for a walk and cool off. Nobody does this. People did this to be 11 million people outside right now. Couldn't get in the street, it'd be packed 24 hours a day. People banging into each other. Get out of my way. I didn't do anything at all. Why is everybody picking on me? We just had our second baby recently. Have any new parents here at all? Anybody, little baby back there? Where are you? Oh, congratulations. Boy, girl? Boy, very nice. How old? 10 weeks. Well, very nice. This is first? Wow, so you're out with real people. Very nice. What kind of work do you do, sir? Counting. Oh, nice talking to you. Oh, really? Well, good luck with your own account now. See, the first baby is nerve-wracking, isn't it? So you have the baby sterilized, boil everything. We stopped doing this the day we saw ours licking the driveway. We said, that's it, there's nothing to boil anymore. So you have a baby too. People call you up, they ask you, how much does he weigh? What is he, a fish? This is rude. Nowhere in life do you go up, people ask people what they weigh. It's rude. You never call him and go, hey Larry, I saw your uncle. What's he tipping in at now? They send out cards with his weight. People don't do this. You don't send out a card, Uncle Ethel's up to 381. What do you do? As soon as he's born too, I'm in there for the delivery. The doctor asked me if I want to cut the cord. I said, what, do I work here? I took 3 classes, I'll cut the cord, take 100 off the bill. Then he's born, then they put a little hat on him and put him under like these French fry lights. He has no idea if he's going skiing or he's in Florida now for the winter. Hey, you guys have been very nice. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Rabbi's going to be speaking next, and really my pleasure being here with you. Thank you. You're great.
Mr. Mark Schiff, thank you very much. One Shabbos, this man was called up for Hagbah to pick up the Torah after laning, and he goes and he picks it up and he's fumbling with it, he's holding it and it almost drops, and finally they get him to sit down and he's really embarrassed. So he says, you know, I'm gonna go practice. I was so embarrassed about this. He joins a health club, he starts lifting weights, he does everything. He's really strong now, he can pump iron. He comes back to shul and is called up again. He gets up, does an unbelievable Hagbah. He's holding it up, there's 10 columns wide, it's incredible. And all of a sudden the shul starts, there's a buzz in the shul, and everyone's saying things and everything. And then he puts down the Torah, and he says to the gabbai, he says, why is everyone making all this noise? He says, because I called you up for Shlishi. Actually, I'd like to introduce our rabbi, who knows the difference between Hagbah and Shlishi. We are fortunate to have our rabbi as our spiritual leader. He's an inspiration not only to our young Israel community, but to the greater community as well. He has shown us the path to an honest and just Jewish life, and how to make that Jewish life part of our everyday existence. He has taught us to make Yiddishkeit the guiding light in our daily encounters and decisions. And he has taught us to be involved in the community at large, not just to make Shabbos for ourselves, so to speak, but to make an impact on others outside of our community, to Jews on the right, to Jews on the left, and to non-Jews as well. He has worked tirelessly, along with his dear Rabbanit Ruchama, to build a kehillah, a true community, to provide and service our needs. To present the Shul's Tribute Award, it's my honor and pleasure to present our Mora D'Asra, Rabbi Elazar Muskin.
As we were ready to leave this evening to come to the banquet, say goodnight to our two daughters, and Gila and Dina look up at us, and Gila says, "Abba, I thought you told us you're going to the shul banquet." I said, "Gila, we are. So why are you dressed like a waiter?" It was too difficult to explain, and we were already late. But I'm here just like the president and the honoree told me to be. A few weeks ago, there was a knock at the shul door, shul office. Rebecca, due to security, never opens up the shul door without knowing who's at the door. She goes over to the door, looks through the blind, and sees a gentleman, very tall, Afro-American. She didn't know this individual. She doesn't open up for anyone that she doesn't know. About 15 minutes later, the telephone rings. The man says, "I just was at your synagogue office door. I knocked on the door and nobody answered." Rebecca realizes it's this fellow. He says, "I'll tell you why I'm calling. Every weekend, your synagogue flies a green flag. That's the Libyan national flag. What are you Jews flying the Libyan national flag for?" So Rebecca explains to him, it's not the Libyan national flag, it's our Eruv flag, letting people know if it's green, the Eruv is up. If it's not green, if it's red, Eruv is down. And she explains a complicated issue of can you carry, can't you carry. This man is very, very impressed with Rebecca. Says to Rebecca, "Are you the rabbi?" She says, "No." He says, "That's a shame." And she tells me that, and I said, "I've heard that before too." And then he says to her, "Listen, you tell the rabbi. You tell him from me. Why doesn't he put a Star of David on that flag and then confuse everyone?" So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to do. But the truth is, everybody flies a flag. Every one of us. The question is, what type of flag do we fly? When a person raises the flag, you can tell what kind of individual that is. Some raise the flag that they're very busy trying to earn the holy dollar. That's all they're there for. Others are committed to community service. They're always volunteering. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to ask a question. What kind of flag do our honorees, Leon and Harriet, fly? And what can we learn from them? Allow me, therefore, to answer this question by referring to an oddity that appears in this coming week's Sidra. This Shabbos and next Shabbos, the Torah tells us about the building of the Mishkan, the first Jewish synagogue, the tabernacle. It describes for us in both cases the personalities of those artisans that were instructed to build the Mishkan. But there is something peculiar in next week's Parsha that didn't appear in this. In this week's Parsha, God told us what he saw in these artisans. In next week's Parsha, the one we will read, it's Moses talking. And Moshe adds one criteria that was not present in God's description. Ulaharot Natan Belibo. And God made him able to teach. Bitzalel, the greatest construction worker the Jewish people have ever seen, the brilliant builder of the Mishkan, Moses describes him with the attribute, he's a good teacher. God did not say that. Moses said that. And the question arises, how did Moshe add something that God did not say? And the 17th century Sephardic great Moroccan Kabbalist and author of the commentary, the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, suggests the following interpretation. He said, very few people have the talent to teach. It's a gift from the Almighty, and very few of us have that gift. But those who are endowed with the gift to teach are able to teach because they give of themselves. To be able to teach, you have to have a good heart and you have to give to your pupils. Ladies and gentlemen, our honorees are endowed with that talent of teaching. They are one of the few. And they fly a specific flag that we all have to follow and emulate. The ability to teach that Harriet and Leon are able to impart to every one of us is the ability to know the secret of good friendship. It is a very, very, very difficult thing to teach, and they teach it. I know very few people as loyal to their friends as Leon and Harriet. I have watched firsthand how at times Leon and Harriet will defend a friend at all costs. They know what friendship is, and they're loyal to the very end. I know that to Leon and Harriet, there are two most important elements in life: family and friends. And Harriet has often said, in public and in private, what counts to me is not possessions. What counts to me is good family and good friends. Loyalty to friends is a hard thing to teach. You have to do it via example. I personally saw and I personally witnessed in their lives that these two people understand it and understand the deep meaning of it. They never, never give up their principles. They will fight for their principles to the very end, even if the cost is very high. And the most important cost is never, never defy a friend. That's something very unique. It's special. It's hard to teach. You have to be able to give and able to be able to teach that. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout their career in our community, they have dedicated themselves to numerous organizations. Leon to the Orthodox Union, Leon and Harriet to founding the Young Israel of Beverly Hills in their own living room, Harriet to Amit. The reason they do it is because of friendship. Allow me to share with you something that happened in their home that they don't even realize. When I brought the delegation a few months ago to their home to speak to them about accepting this honor, we were prepared and we thought that we would have to put up a good argument to convince Leon and Harriet to accept this honor. To our very happy surprise, we sat down in the living room, and in very, very short time, Leon said yes. Why? And he looked at us and he said, for the following reason, and I quote, I am honored that you've come to ask me and Harriet to be honored. I will do it because you feel we can help the shul. If my friends need us, then we cannot say no. They never say no to a friend. Leon, Harriet, you're good teachers. You've taught us what the most important element in life is: being loyal to family, being loyal to friends. And tonight, this gathering is in honor of our good friends, you, Leon and Harriet. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me salute Leon and Harriet by listening to the presentation that will now be given to them by our Vice President and good long friend of Leon and Harriet, Alan Dolphin, and by our Treasurer, Eileen Mogalanter.
I'm honored tonight, Leon and Harriet, to be co-chair this evening. One of the first people I met coming over here was Leon and Harriet, and they were truly, truly my best friends ever since I came here. And I've been really, really lucky, but most blessed because Leon and Harriet are my best friends. Eileen.
Realizing that for the first time in our shul history, our annual dinner was held on a Saturday night, we felt that our presentation to our honorees should reflect this fact. We have chosen, therefore, to present Leon and Harriet with a special besamim box in the shape of a cello. Knowing that Leon is a maven of classical music, we thought this gift would be most appropriate for our honorees.
As we celebrate the month of Adar and prepare for the joyous and musical holiday of Purim, our prayer is that the music of this cello will represent and resonate in the house of the Katz's home for years to come. The inscription on this gift reads, Young Israel Century City, Tribute Award, Leon Harriet Katz, February 18, 1995, 18th Adar Aleph, 5755, signed by Elazar Muskin and Drew Parker, President.
It's now my pleasure to introduce our honoree, Leon Katz.
I've got it someplace. Hold on. There we go. Before I start, I'd like to thank the producers of Channel 4 and Walter Holkauer and my son for the video. Except I'm a little disappointed. I really never wanted anybody to know that I exercise down at the beach. And I'd like to tell you all now that Joe Weider just has told me that I will be appearing on the June issue of Muscle and Fitness magazine. And see, Harriet, just you've thrown me big birthday parties on the 40th, the 50th, the 60th, the 61st. What's next year? Rabbi Muskin, distinguished rabbis, members of the dais, my dear children, Jeffrey, Diane, and Dane, family, friends, and guests. I will have to disagree with the rabbi on the reason just why I accepted this honor, and I will tell you now. One night several months ago, just when Rabbi Muskin and Drew Parker and Alan Dalphin appeared at our door, I had a very strange feeling about this unexpected visit, as it was way past Alan Dalphin's bedtime. And Alan just hadn't been up that late since Nomi's wedding. And the last time I had such dignitaries appear was about 25, 30 years ago, and at that time I wound up being conned into the presidency of the Young Israel of Beverly Hills. And so, just horrified at the repetition of that thought, I made a silent vow and saying, God help me, don't let them ask me for the presidency, I'll take anything else they offer. And that's why Harriet and I are here tonight. Let's see. Other than the Young Israel of Century City, just a real beneficiary of tonight is a dress shop in Borough Park, which Harriet has now placed on top of her preferred shopping list. Being members of a shul and attending the minyan just has always been an important part in our lives. Let's see, Harriet's parents were active in the Young Israel of East New York, while my parents davened in a shtibel in Williamsburg. Let's see, however, just when we moved to Los Angeles, let's see, my brother Shimon and I always walked from Pico and Hauser to the Young Israel of Los Angeles on Melrose to celebrate the Simchas Torah with Rabbi Swift. The main reason for Harriet and I being involved with the Young Israel of Century City is our concern for the youth of the shul. As Rabbi Muskin said, we were fortunate to be involved in the formation of the Young Israel of Beverly Hills, and for 3 months they davened every Shabbos in our apartment.
And I really think they davened only because Harriet gave them a big kiddush every Shabbos. And as soon as she stopped, they found themselves a home. It was our dream that our children would always feel that the Young Israel was their second home. And through our nieces, Jennifer, Jamie, and Stephanie Lebo, and the other 120 plus children that show up every Shabbos to attend the Young Israel and to be involved in the activities, we see our dreams being realized. The Young Israel is a shul for the young and for the young at heart. I'm very touched by the presence of three friends here tonight who I've known for close to 50 years and maybe even longer. Rabbi Reuben Hutler, who's sitting over there, who's the rabbi of the congregation at Jacob. We met, I think, just when I was 10 years old, and we davened in the same shul in Williamsburg, and we had our bar mitzvahs. And I remember his late grandfather, Reb Yitzchak, who was the senior Kohen in our shul. Walter Holkauer, just wherever he is, I know he's probably floating around there in the back. I first met him in in Brooklyn, TA, just when we first started high school. Walter, or Ravel as I call him, just was a Michiganer at that time, and he still is. He hasn't changed one bit. And my third friend is Larry Gottlieb. I met him when I first joined the freshman class of Yeshiva University. I lasted there only 2 years, but I remember Larry very well from there. And as soon as Larry and his wife Ruthie moved out here, we renewed our friendship, and we've been excellent friends ever since. And it's always nice to have such friends around. At the present time, I would like to recognize just my mother-in-law, Betty Morzinski, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Roz and Joel Lindemann, and my aunts, cousins, nieces, nephews, and especially just my cousin Zahava, who flew in from New York for this evening. Our thanks go to Rabbi Muskin and to Rebecca for their long hours spent on putting on this beautiful evening, and to all those committee members who actively participated. There were many times just when Harriet and I would be all shook up saying, nothing is being done, we see nothing. And Rabbi and Rebecca would say, don't worry, we have everything in tow. And I should have realized, because the rabbi is very methodical, he goes by the clock, and he has agendas. I can't live that way. But the rabbi does, and thank God. And finally, I wish to give a special thanks to our chairman, Alan Dalphin, who works behind the scenes very quietly and very efficiently, but he gets the job done. Alan is my best friend, as he said, and he's more like a younger brother to me. And finally, just even though, Harriet and I are both being honored here tonight, she deserves more credit than I do, because as every shopkeeper on Pico Boulevard just can tell you, they shudder just when she comes by there, because she collected every single ad virtually there. And all the work just that I had to do, she did it. People tell me that I have a youthful outlook on life. Well, I owe all this to Harriet, just my child bride of 34 years. And whatever I've accomplished over these years are the results of her love and devotion and warmth and common sense advice. Once again, to thank you all for your generous support of the Young Israel Century City, and for bestowing this honor upon us, and for showing up here tonight. It is really a true friendship, and we really appreciate it very much. Thank you and good evening.
Harriet, drink the water. Take your water.
Chinese auction and Benjamin. We're not 5 minutes. All right.
For item number 10, this is the Young Israel Best 10 list. The Toshiba portable phone that you heard ringing just a moment ago. Retail value $80, cost us about $20. Let's hear. The winner is Lulu Fenston. The Industrial Shoe Warehouse gift certificate. What a practical gift. Sharon Ashkenazi. Protexia. Item number 8. A Gap gift certificate. The Schlesingers need a Gap gift certificate. Let's see. The winner is someone who also needs it, Mr. David Nagel. 7. A French gift, Belle Cadieu briefcase. Which we thank Paula Etra for. The winner is, oh, you can feel the electricity now. Here we go. Gee whiz, Walter Halkauer. Item number 6, a Coach purse. Oh my goodness. Shani Malki and Aviva Schlesinger. You were supposed to pull the VCR one, girls. I mean, okay. Item number 5, for a beautiful Toshiba VCR, valued at $250, and the winner is Judy and Jerry Elkins. Do we get a yay for that? We sure do. Give me a hallelujah. Are Judy and Jerry here? Yes, they are. Enjoy. Oh, Leon's cousin. Enjoy the VCR. We'll be over. We'll bring the popcorn. Okay. Number 4, a Proform step machine. Is that a Weeder thing? Of course. Okay, we don't have a machine. We have a picture. Okay, for a Proform step machine picture, Al and Diane Leibovic. Congratulations. You just get a picture. That's it. But you'll look like that. But you'll look like that. That's what. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Item number 3, 2 nights at the Young Israel of Rancho Bernardo, a resort in San Diego. 2 nights, valued at $500. The winner is Faye and Irwin Weiss. They can use 2 nights away, or Faye and Irwin. 2 is 2 nights at Lowe's Santa Monica Beach. It's not motel, it's hotel. But we are pleased to announce that come this spring, they are building a kosher kitchen, and you will be able to get kosher food there, so I wouldn't go there for a while. But in the springtime, feel free, whoever wins this, to spend 2 nights and eat kosher food in their kitchen. And the winner is John Murphy. You might be able to go right away, John. And drum roll, please.
Before you do that one, thank all our donors.
Yes, that's sure.
The hotels.
Yes. Really, before we pull the grand prize, and you can hear the drum roll, and you can really, we're excited here. We want to thank all of the vendors and all the people that donated all these beautiful prizes for our Chinese auction. This was the first time we ever did anything Chinese. And we thank all of you who participated and bought these tickets for $36. Those of you who didn't win, it's just too bad. Okay, item number 1, the drum roll. Grand prize, a 27-inch RCA color TV. The winner is, gee whiz, Miriam and David Lebo. Congratulations.
Rabbi Saini Varech. Hi Shem Adonai Mevarach Me'atavi Adolam Bershus Meranan Varomanan Rabbi Saini Varech Eloheinu Shachal Mishalo Baruch Eloheinu Shachal Mishalo Tuvo Chayinu Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu B'chol Maseh Shalom Baruch Atah Barach B'Nesim Nechad V'Svaykim V'Choshev K'Lo Hagdotim V'Choshev V'Ayich Shalom Baruch Atah Adonai Hazanis Hakol.
It's a great pleasure to be here honoring Leon and Harriet Katz. It's a wonderful fair, and they well deserve it.
Hello, this is your mother speaking, and all I want to wish you all the luck in the world, Harriet, darling, and your husband, Leon, whom I love very dearly. And simchas like we had, it was just beautiful, and I'm very, very proud of both of you. Good luck, and your children. Bye.
Okay, well, Leon, Harriet, well, on my birthday of today, it's been a great pleasure celebrating with you on this occasion. I'm really proud to be part of your family for all these years. And Leon, I'll always thank you for helping me get started. And as always, the best, and stay healthy. And thanks for the evening. It was great. And the VCR. Take care. We love you.
Me too. I'll ditto everything. And I love you both very, very much. And thanks for everything. Blessing. Thanks for being part of the Mishpucha. I love being there with you guys. Thanks.
Hi. Congratulations, Leon and Harriet. We had a great time, but we think the prizes were a fix.
The which?
The prizes. We went to her nieces. There's no mic.
Is the mic working?
Oh, okay. The cousins won, the nieces won.
We want to wish you, Leon and Harriet, long life and lots of mazel.
They're going to edit all of this
and may you
out.
always be honored, and may your nephews and nieces always win the colored televisions. Yashikov.
Okay, two more. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more time, and 1, 2, 3.
Well, first of all, for everybody who asked, were the prizes rigged? The answer is yes, because both of my daughters won, and my granddaughter picked the tickets. So anyway, Harriet and Leon, it's been a wonderful evening. I love that you were honored, and we had all the fun. Mazel tov, and the best of everything.
Sure, I just want to tell you that this is absolutely the greatest evening of my life. To receive this reward, this award of flowers is just like, I never would have expected it. I mean, the whole Young Israel community is just so... Wait a second. I'm not the one who got these.
I'm the award winner. I want to thank the Young Israel and the committee and Rabbi Muskin especially. Thank you for the Keter Shem Tov Award, and I look forward to many more years with the Young Israel.
And many awards.
And many more awards, why not? Take care.
Thank you.
I tell you is that...
Don't say a damn thing. If he says one damn thing about me dropping a pop fly, I'll kill him.
I think Leon's a great guy, and people don't realize how high he could jump. And everything's going to be fine. Young Israel's a great place, and we had a wonderful evening. And these guys who are taking this video are superb, particularly the guy wearing the gartel. If you look at him, he has a gartel. Have a good evening. Thanks. Take care, folks. Hasta luego.
Thank you.
This is not my daughter. This is my daughter. How much?
Tell me how much I love you.
Loves me very much.
My daughter, the future registered nurse. Thank you very much.
Turn red.
Dane!
Leon, how are you, sir?
Okay.
Are you going to speak tonight, or do I have to speak on behalf of you?
Speak on my behalf.
Tell them about the Chicago 95. Go ahead.
I'm innocent. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ozzy, so you sing a little opera. You play him in the key of Gee Whiz. I want to say to Leon and Harriet. Leon, I remember you when you came to our house with your little Simca clear out of the army. And right now I'm being very distracted by my brother.
Tell your brother to shut up already.
Leon said that I should tell my brother to shut up already. I'll get you in a minute.
She's never had a chance to sing because she's Jewish and they won't let her daven Shabbos. And I'm one of the rabbi's best congregants and I'm leaving. I want you to sing, your brother-in-law. A few tunes you can sing. Jeff, come on.
Sing, yeah.
Jeff, come on. Tomorrow it's over.
It's over now. It was over this morning.
The fat man has just sung. That's it.
Jeff, come here. You don't get it. Tomorrow it's all news. Come here. What would you like to sing, Jeff?
I'm not singing. No.
The impossible dream.
Try it on key.
Now this is in honor of Harriet. My brother and I are going to sing Aisha Skyle. Come here. And Jeffrey Katz too. That's instantaneous music. Come here.
I think it's 46.
My wife's out of town, so I have to have a good time. Everybody sing together for Harriet Katz.
Let's hear it. Which one of
Från vad Gud mamma nu. Aj, 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 jag känner för musik. Bränkta röjsa harmoni. Röstlägg, den enda symfoni.
Patience,
together. Harriet and Sharif. Folks, you heard it from Jeffrey Katz. This is for Leon Katz from Brooklyn, TA, 47 years ago from the Spanish class. I'd like Leon to come up front because he knows this song by heart. allá en el rancho grande, allá donde vivía. Ha dicho Rancherita que la que me decía, que la que me decía. Te voy a hacer tus canciones, caminos rancheros. Allá en el rancho grande, allá donde vivía. Había rancherita que la que me decía, que la que me decía. Te voy a hacer tus canciones, caminos rancheros.
Thank you, good night.
And Fred! Fred!
Your turn, Fred.
Soon you're gonna sing, Fred. Okay, I gotta go, folks. It's time for chakras.
Show, the second part of this evening, will be interfering in a picture by Kodak.
This is my Aunt Connie. This is one of my aunts here. And she always comes to the last of all my aunts. Thank you. I got one more aunt down there. See, the lady in the green dress that's down there.
Okay, well, let's run for it.
She's another aunt.
I was starting to say before I was so rudely interrupted by my brother that I want. It's really like it's like a cycle to be here with you. You know, at 20, almost 23 years ago, 24 years ago, it may be longer.
Wedding,
I don't know. You came to my wedding.
Right.
And this evening, it's just a pleasure to be here and to offer my talents, whatever I can for you and for Harriet. And I love you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And this man played at Diane's wedding too, and he was terrific.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. And Harriet, I love you, baby.
Wherever she is.
We are two sisters. We are Leanne and Harriet's aunts, and it was our biggest pleasure to be here tonight.
This is our representative from Leon's late parents, our two aunts, and our cousin from New York, and it was a fine representation, and we were very happy to have them here tonight.
We enjoyed the evening. We really enjoyed it.
It was a beautiful evening, and I was glad to be here, and I hope they should share always simchas.